While tickle my nipple with a feather, I spent 10 minutes at the top of the Predwin looking at this build. A classic poopy brown raider themed armor with a Brahmin skull at the shoulder and a skull at the crotch. Also a sleek fitting tribal themed jetpack on the back. And the heavy machine gun that looks like it's straight out of Mad Max. The scope and that slight tilt on the gun makes for some nice satisfying combat. Nah, I mean... Now we're gonna head into the Creations Club and we're gonna download 2 free old school mods. So for the first one, we're gonna type in Tribal Power Armor and we're gonna download that. And for the second one, we're gonna type Nimrout Heavy Gun and we're gonna download that mod. Nami. Now there's 3 locations where we can get a full set of this power armor, but we'll just head to 2 locations for now. So our first location is the edge of the glowing sea south of the Robotics Pioneer Park. There'll be some raiders conversing in some strategic combat. I mean, we quickly dispose of them. We then quickly loot the set of armor from the deceased raider. And if you want another set of the power armor, it will be at an unmarked location southeast of the Boston shelter and just far south of Fort Hagen. Now the raiders will be camped out on a bridge and we can quickly just nuke them. We loot that second deceased raider. And now for the gun. The gun is easily attainable. We just head to a chem station and you can craft the gun under heavy machine guns. Just make sure you have blacksmith and heavy gunner perks at level 3. Now the attachments might seem underwhelming at first, but what's cool about this gun is if you add the tactical barrel, it adds another attachment slot onto the gun. So you'll unlock attachments like the charm that adds that massive skull on the side of the gun, some ripper attachments for extra bashing power on the left and right rail of the gun, and it also has like a bone grip that adds like a skeletal spine at the back of the gun as a handle. And lastly, a 50 cal modification that doubles the damage. We then get the tribal T-45 radar armor ready, and let's show off our new armor and massive gun to some ghouls. And if you liked the video, please comment. Imagine being able to tickle your nipple with a feather, or impregnating a super mutant with a Xenomorph serum that gives birth to a facehugger that tries to impregnate you. And also a laser beam rifle that consecutively increases damage on each hit and has unlimited ammo. So I was scrolling through the Creations Club menu and I came across this mod called Xenomorphs, and I downloaded it. The instructions were to head southwest of the Murky Water construction, so I headed southwest of the Murky Water construction. And exactly southwest of the Murky Water construction, I came across an unidentified foreign object. And what I noticed about this aircraft was, it was unidentifiable and it was foreign. And the first thing we come across is an unidentified humanoid that seems to be missing its head. We can find the Zetan prism rifle alongside the headless alien. I equipped the Zetan prism rifle. I made my way to the back of the ship and noticed some sort of damaged cargo pod with some hatched organic pods and some sort of black-green goo that looked like tree barks of some sorts. I then head over to this abandoned structure. And upon arriving, I noticed some more of this alienoid pods or eggs. There were some dead bodies, maybe more than a dozen, and I noticed the missing head. Now something seemed to have dragged the head to this location and kept it as a trophy for some unknown reason. I then kept searching the area, but I found nothing, so I decided to wait till nightfall. I then continued the search at nightfall. Now the Xenomorph was quite easy to defeat, as I assume he was injured because of the crash. We also have a facehugger that tried to creep up on me. Now we're gonna grab some Xeno organs from some splattered goo throughout the location, and from Xenomorph we're gonna head over to the thermodynamic aircraft in Abernethy Farm to a chem station. Now we're gonna need the level 1 chemist perk to craft the Xeno acid syringe, and now we can impregnate some NPCs. So I decided to head over to the Super Duper Mart to get some resources when this happened. I then got resurrected in the Creations Club and stumbled upon these two mods, the classic Super Sledge and the Mutant Hunter armor. So I began the journey of becoming the Mutant Slayer and head to my first location, the Forgotten Church, far south of Nuka World and north of the decayed reactor site. We quickly make our way inside the church and will find the hammer on the tabletop. Now, when you leave this church, you'll run into a mythic Deathclaw. We quickly dispatch of him. We then grab the second super sledge called the military super sledge at Arturo in Diamond City, and this one will allow us to add attachments. We then head over to the thermodynamic aircraft, and a few attachments stand out like the bottle caps mod. This will allow you to just form bottle caps. The discharger mod that has a chance to cause an EMP explosion. I also went into the console commands on PC and typed in FOV 100 and it just gives us a better view of the hammer. Now there'll be a hidden marked location on the map, the Mutant Hunter base, and upon arriving you'll notice some dead super mutants, and when you enter the base there'll be some deceased super mutants posted up like trophies. And as we make our way to the second level of the base, we find the Mutant Hunter. Now he'll be difficult to kill, so I suggest you grab an overpowered weapon. I then collect the armor and the hunter rifle. Now it has quite a bulky damage resistance, so let's quickly test this power out and then hunt down the behemoth that rendered me deceased. I made my way to the Super Duper Mart with the oh baby super sledge that we got earlier and started hunting down the behemoth. So we're gonna look at 4 legendary variations of this Tesla cannon. Nah, I mean, we have Cherinkov's glow, St. Elmo's fire, nah, I mean, the QLR thunderbolt, and Maxwell's demon. And I mean, I like tickle my nipples with a feather, but luckily I found this Tesla cannon weapon mod. Bro, all I do is scroll through this fucking creations club like, yeah, download this heavy Tesla cannon mod and we're gonna head to our first location so we can get the first legendary variation of the gun. Nah, I mean. So our first location is Poseidon's Energy south of Warwick Homestead. We're gonna head to the back of the building, quickly rendering the enemy individuals deceased. So I'm quickly gonna just make my way up this platform and just get rid of several enemies in the way.
Who is that?
Now by entering the top section of the Poseidon building, we can make our way to Cutty the Raider much quicker. Nah, I mean, we're just gonna easily clear the path in front of us. Now we're gonna make our way through the compound exactly like the way I'm making my way through the compound. In the doorway to our right, we can find Cutty and his raiders. We quickly dispose of them. And we come across the first variation, Maxwell's Demon, with the legendary stat of 25 damage and limb damage, but has more recoil. Now we're gonna have to test the gun out, so we head to the thermodynamic aircraft at Abernethy Farm to a weapon station. For some customization, we're gonna do the equalized capacitor, the artillery barrel, that adds that extra electrical energy damage. Now we're gonna crank up the damage with the fusion booster. We're gonna do some hip fire, so no scope. And it's not like the pain fucking matters anyway, and what better opponent to test this gun out than on Ahab the Automatron. And as you can see there, the gun gives you a nice balanced experience. So this one shoots like a single electrical arc burst and basically causes like an explosive burst on the enemy. Now for our second variant, we can get that at the Mechanist Lair from Isabel, if you didn't kill her.
Isabel.
Oh, right.
So we buy the QLR Thunderbolt from Isabel. Now for this customization, we're gonna complement that legendary critical hit shot stat, with the maximized resonance oscillator. We're then gonna go with the improved caster barrel, the feedback regulator that increases that critical shot damage even more, and we're gonna go with the reflex sight, for some accuracy. Now third gun we can get from Overboss Coulter, but the problem is we already rendered him deceased. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our new gun and head over to Nuka World's Nuka-cade. We're gonna head inside and we're gonna talk to Fritz. He's gonna give us that combat quest line.
Want to take down another?
Time to put on a show.
Hell yeah!
And we fight the opponent with our new Thunderbolt Tesla cannon. Now this one isn't as overwhelming as the previous one that had that 200 energy attachment thing. It's nice and balanced unless Rich is like super fucking tanky or something, Now you still should be able to find Overboss Coulter's body laying around. And you can grab Elmo's fire that sets targets on fire for 15 points of fucking. So we're gonna turn this one into some Palpatine type shit. We're gonna do the maximized static disruptor. Then we're gonna do the improved standard barrel that improves the fire rate. And then accelerated capacitor that also improves the fire rate. And we're gonna have no sight. And the last one we can get at the Nucleus in Far Harbor at Sister May's shop, and this one does 50 points additional radiation damage. Nah, fucking me. And we give this one the focus barrel, and this one adds like a nice laser beam. So the new Crimson Desert game just came out, but I had insufficient funds because all I can afford is
fucking potatoes.
So I thought to myself, why don't we treat ourselves to a nice Creations Club free mod? Nah, I mean, I typed in the search energy for some unknown reason and something caught my eye, the energy fist blade. Now the blade is inspired by StarCraft and has a nice sleek alien look with 3 different color variations. But now, how do we retrieve the weapon?
Face the foot style.
Now in order to craft this blade we need to find a crystal. So we head over to Oberlin Station and we're gonna make our way past the crashed alien spacecraft. To the alien cave, Nami. And when you enter the cave you'll notice a white crystal thingamajigger beside where the alien laid. And at a chem station in the utility section we can craft ourselves a nice blade. I chose a red one, but the problem is there was only 1 crystal in the cave and I did head back to get another look and nah, there was no goddamn crystal, man. And we need 2 more to craft more colors. Now I mean, so what we can do is we can sleep 7 times, that's like 7 in-game time, to reload the cells and spawn another crystal. But I am on PC, so I'm just gonna do the console command set timescale to 50,000 Namin, and we let that cycle through. If you are gonna sleep, I suggest sleeping for 8 days just to be 100% sure. Okay, that's around about enough time. Ooh, it actually sounds like a lightsaber. Now I mean, so we're gonna full sprint to the cave again and we're gonna check if another crystal respawned. So a crystal will respawn after 7 days in-game time and we can craft the rest of the crystals. I mean the rest of the fucking blades, and we can even work to a weapons head bench and craft a little upgrade. Now I mean, there we go, we have a nice blue one, a nice red one, but I think I prefer the green one. Like, I don't know, something about the green one just stands out for me. I mean, the red one also looks good, you know, nice and intimidating, even as I mean. And I think the blue one's crystal there in the middle stands out for me the most. Now let's see some first person animations. Now I mean, and they also make for some nice decoration items. Now I mean they look like infinity gauntlets holding the infinity stones or some shit. So yeah, thanks for watching, and
My nipples look like milk duds.
What kind of business you running here anyway?
Make sure all the school teaching the children how to be a homosexual, and make sure they all teach about the transgender. So that is what important to me.
while tickle my nipple with a feather, I was scrolling for at least 2 hours in the Creations Club and I just randomly thought for some unknown reason to search MTS 255 Nami, and I found this old school shotgun mod. We then craft the gun at a chem station at the thermodynamic aircraft in Abernethy Farm, and with this little ordinary looking revolver shotgun I made 3 different variations that'll get you in several different ways. Nami. So let's get to customizing our first shotgun. We're gonna add the semi-auto receiver and we want that classic shotgun revolver feel. So we're gonna take the medium barrel ported, and for the standard grip we're not gonna put any standard grip on there. We're just gonna leave it standard because we want that brown wooden classic design. We're then gonna do the glow sights and we're gonna keep the buckshot ammo, and we're gonna name this gun Rick. Nami.
Come on, Rick.
Don't you die on me!
And for our second shotgun, the shot wick incendiary round shotgun. Nami. Now for this build we're gonna go for the semi-auto again. We're then gonna do the compact silence barrel, know I mean? And we're gonna add a marksman stock. We're gonna do the glowing sights once again, just to add that tactical feel, know I mean? And last but not least, we're gonna do the incendiary ammo. And we're gonna name this one Shot Weak, know I mean? And for our third and last gun, we're gonna do a nice close to medium range shotgun, know I mean? So we're gonna go with a heavy receiver, and for the barrel, we're gonna do the long marksman. For the grip, we're gonna do a nice polymer stock. We're then gonna go with the makeshift reflex sight, you know, just to give it that Inspector Gadget type feel, know I mean? And then we're gonna do the slug ammo, which increases the range to 359, and we're gonna name this one Catherine, know I mean?
Eyes open.
While tickle my nipple with a feather. So I was scrolling through the Creations Club and came across the Gauss minigun, but it costs like 200 Creations Club shock orbs, and because I'm extremely poor, I went into the search and punched in Gauss minigun just to see something, know I mean? And I came across the Gauss minigun version 76, which was free, and I downloaded it. nah. So we're gonna head over to Sanctuary Hills, and as you can see there, I built a prostitution house. Go check that out. Nah I mean, we're gonna head over to this back shed, to that hidden bunker. Nah I mean, now for some reason after installing the mod, the bunker had some weird Kazakhstanian name. Nah I mean, now we can easily just retrieve the gun on the left, and we head to the thermodynamic aircraft, where we can head to a gun station. Now if you bought the 200 shocking orbs Creations Club version, let me know in the comments how you think this one compares to that one. Does it have more customizations? Is it a better looking gun? Like, there's actually a lot of stuff you can do with the gun. You can even add a sticker onto your gun. I added a Eiffel Tower woman on my thing. Now let's just do a nice full customization and get the gun battle ready. Nah I mean, now it looks a bit rusty around the edges, but this is the wasteland, so I feel like it fits within the world. Nah I mean. And it also has like a reload animation. It looks like someone shoving an orange in someone's anal crack. Nah I mean. And the gun's basically a cheat code for turning enemies into meat bags, bro. Nah I mean.
Face to foot style.
Now after we rendered Lorenzo deceased, the guy imbued with psychic abilities and immortality after finding an ancient alien artifact in the late 1800s, he was then imprisoned by his family, and they used his blood to render themselves immortal. Now as you can see in the vanilla game, we can't collect the crown of his deceased body. Know I mean? So I head over to the ancient pyramid at the Starlight Drive-In, where we'll have direct access to the thermodynamic bag chasing Creations Club matrix system.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts!
We head into the Creations Club and we download the Lorenzo's Crown mod. Know I mean? We head over to the cabin house and we attempt to render him deceased one more time. Nah, I mean,
Learn. Who's the best?
now we can grab his suit and crown. We then head over to the thermodynamic aircraft. Now the crown will give you 50 damage resistance, 10 rare damage, 5 strength, and 50 energy resistance. And you'll be able to use the telekinetic blast. But first you have to equip the crown. I'll equip the crown with this nice Metropolis armor. Now I mean, head to a chem station in the grenade section, and you can craft an extra Lorenzo crown. But to use the telekinetic blast, you can just craft this Lorenzo power, and you can just spam craft how much you want. Now the crown is nice and detailed, coupled with that Metropolis armor, giving it that nice dystopian, ancient but godlike look. Now I mean, and now we can crush our enemies with the power of Lorenzo. Now.
Any chance I could steal you away for an evening?
That's a lot of nuts!
I made the
Perfect.
NCR Ranger Bold. Nami. So I was scrolling through the Creations Club and I head over to the latest section. Nami, and I downloaded the Fallout Show Elite Ranger Armor. Now the question is, does it look like the TV show version of the NCR armor? Now the mask is highly customizable and you can make it look like the TV show version, or you can make it look however tickles. And one of the customizations that stand out is in the targeting HUD section, where you can equip this targeting HUD visor all-in-one that highlights heat, living targets, and also highlights the dead. Now imagine it's a dark misty night and you're doing some reconnaissance. You see some movement but your vision is impaired because it's dark. You crouch and this activates the targeting HUD. And going into crouch will highlight the deceased as blue, so you don't have to spend your time searching for the deceased. And the visor of the mask actually lights up and you can choose like different colors and shit. Now I mean, also the little laser on the side, you can change the color of that also. Now the downside to the mod is the armor itself. You can't really customize the armor and it just looks like a plain version compared to the other NCR armors that you can download on the Creations Club. So I just download the other two NCR armors and then do some mix and match. Now we just have to throw in a gun to complete the build. We already did the heavy power armor raider build and the glowing nightmare. Now we're gonna head into the Creations Club and we're gonna type in munitions. We're gonna download the munitions ammo expansion project, and this will allow us to download the vintage revolver rifle. Now this is an old school rifle mod bro, this gun just, I then head over to Diamond City to Arturo's house, pop a stealth boy, and after lockpicking and entering the house, we'll find the Impanchianchin at the side of the door. Now you can grab the regular version of some gunners called the vintage revolver rifle. And now we have to load the ammunition into the game, so we go to the MISC section, we head to the munitions configurations. And this way we can add the ballistic ammo 3006 caliber. Now we can get the ammo of vendors and we can loot them from deceased bodies. Now I'm gonna make two versions of the gun. A short range version and a sniper version. It also has some nice custom animations. So for the short range we're gonna add an advanced double receiver. For the barrel we're gonna add a short comfort barrel. We're gonna add the gunslinger stock, the duplex cartridge. We're then gonna add the improved sights, and lastly we're gonna do the muzzle brake.
What?
Who's
You're
there?
mine now!
And then we can quickly make a sniper build.
You can trust me.
Now the most important part, we scrap the new armor, we grab the veteran ranger coat armor from the NCR veteran ranger armor mod, we grab the helmet from the TV show armor, we head to an armor workbench and we combine the two sets of armor and there we go, we have the ultimate,
I like 'em feisty.
Taking back shots while walking through the wasteland and staring at this armor build. I mean, look at that back shots, it just blends in so well with the Fallout wasteland. And to complete the build, a gun so satisfying that it blows your enemies away. And also a bonus weapon, a sniper that I had no idea existed. That the mod actually leads you to. So it's not part of the mod, it's part of the vanilla game. But so you can get this weapon without any mods. It's part of the vanilla game. It's just the mod led me to the location. Did you know what I mean? So first things first, we're gonna head to the Creations Club and we're gonna type in the free mod Gauss Spectre. And we're gonna download that. Now when you enter the game, you'll get a mod message. You just skip that and we head straight to a chem station and we're gonna craft the Corsair ghost trigger thingy. We then go into our Pip-Boy and we head to the aid section where we're gonna favorite the mashup settings menu. We're gonna open that menu and we're gonna scroll down to quest start location hint and we're just gonna activate that. So for our first location, we're gonna head to Libertalia. It's around south of Long Neck, Laskowski. And if you've been here, then you'll know that it's some sort of ship docking wreckage. And our main objective is to head to the top of the main ship. So we're gonna sneak up on the compound and wait till nightfall for a more tactical approach. And now we quickly and silently render the enemies deceased. And after we dispatch of the main enemy sightlines, we can jump into the river to make our way to the main boat. And we make our way to the top, quickly clearing the area to the main cabin. And upon entering, you can grab the less fishful terribles and you'll find Dr. Abigail Hart deceased on the floor. We grab her inventory, and for you Fallout 4 lore addicts, we can open up the Pip-Boy and do the Malden School quiz. So who was the first human to enter space? Yes, you got it right, it was Carl Bell. Yeah. Now, which country was he from? Yes, you got it right, the USA. Yeah. On what day did he enter space? On May the 5th. You clever little boy. What was the name of his spaceship? This is an easy one. The Defiance 7. And lastly, how long did his flight last? Approximately 12 minutes and 7 seconds. And this will open Abigail's diary entries. Just to give you some lore of the quest. Now for our next location, we're gonna head to the Long Necks Laskowskis, just north of the Libertalia. And upon arriving, we're gonna head to the back of the building, up the staircase. There's gonna be a novice locked door that we have to get through so we can get to Dr. Hart's safe and get to the duffel bag. Here you will get a bunch of items. We just get that bunch of items. Now we're gonna head northeast of the Museum of Witchcraft until we reach a location called the Rook's Family House. It's just straight north of Salem and the Sandy Cove's Convalescent House. And as you approach, you'll hear a guy with a strong southern accent.
I ain't running out of ammo.
And you'll find him screaming on the roof of a house.
It's gonna take a lot more than some big fish to scare me.
Now this quest isn't a part of the mod, it's a random encounter that you'll get in the main vanilla game. But you need to complete the quest to basically complete the mod. Now he'll instruct you to kill 3 Mirelurks in the area. After killing the Mirelurks, he'll open the gate and you can head into his dungeon.
Are you crazy? Get out of the street before any more of them catch wind of ya. Look, I'll open the gate and you get in here quick. I'm gonna let you in the bunker. Don't make me regret this.
Now we can enter the home, and after we wait until he materializes into the dungeon, we can activate into the dungeon. Now I mean, we go talk to him and he'll instruct you to activate 5 turrets as defense for the Mirelurks in the area, and don't forget to grab the guns and bullets on the desk there. Now I mean, I quickly head back outside and complete that quest, and after activating the turrets we head back to that basement, and there'll be a door that will open, and to our left there will be a mark safe. We unlock that with Dr. Hart's second keycard, and we get the fusion core and the schematics for the Ghost Spectre armor. We then go talk to Barney Cook,
Reba 2 should be sitting on the table in there.
and we can retrieve the Reaver 2. Now I mean, I then made my way to the main base at Abernethy Farm. Now the Spectre already comes in a standard blue Tron-like vibe. Now there's 4 or 5 different colors, like this green one if you want to cosplay as a cream soda vegetable man or something, but we want to become the Ghost Spectre. So for the breastplate musk section, you can choose whatever buff you want there. I chose the custom fitted that reduces sprint in AP, and for the automation we're just gonna leave that as off. Now for the design we're gonna choose the red Spectre. Now for the suit zip up, for the musk we're gonna do the pocketed, and we're not gonna have any neon lighting, we just want that sleek black color, so we're gonna choose the black Spectre. For the automation we're gonna go with on, so our chest section can have some air in the sunlight and closes up during the night or bad weather. Next is the gloves. I chose the fitted again, and then we're gonna go with the red Spectre. And now for the goggles. Now we're gonna leave the armor forge and we're gonna head to a chem station, and we're gonna craft the X92 optics toggle and thermal vision cycle intensity. This will just allow us to toggle through the thermal and night vision when wearing the goggles. And we have the cycle intensity, which just increases that red hue of the thermal when we combine the thermal and the night vision. So we head back to that armor bench and we're gonna do the musk. For the design you already know the red Spectre. For the optics we're gonna leave that at off, as we can manually toggle that. In the automation section there's a bunch of options there, but I just left that off because we can manually toggle. For the goggle section we just leave that as is, as it will rise and lower as we go through the thermal and night vision. Now remember that mashup settings menu, we can go into the Pip-Boy and we can change the color. I gave it a nice blue color, just to blend in with that red and black color. But now we need that Capital Wasteland Gauss rifle to complete the build. So we're gonna head to the Creations Club and we're gonna type in Gauss rifle and download the Capital Wasteland high-res Gauss rifle mod. And we can get the gun at the Skylines flight in the cockpit of the plane. I then head back to a weapons workbench and fully deck out the Gauss rifle. And we can't forget about that sniper, the Reba 2. I'm gonna deck that out and add the Enclave paint, so it has that red streamlined decal to go with that armor. And watch how that thermal and night vision comes in this fight. We have this ray of sunlight blocking our eyesight, so we activate the night vision. We still can't see, but when we activate the thermal we get a nice outline of the enemies in orange. And that's how you become the red Spectre. So imagine you had a dream the other day that you were scrolling through the Creations Club and you came across these 2 mods, the Glowing Nightmare and the Radcaster, but they have no objectives, no quest markers, and you then come across a channel of a guy with a weird accent. So we're gonna head east of the rocky cave and west of the sentinel site, to this unmarked location. And upon arriving, you'll notice some sort of isolated structure which appears to be an entrance to a subway system. And upon entering, we dispose of the children of the Atom NPCs,
It's all over but the ground. Come back, Defiler. Face shut.
Now, once you get rid of all the deceased, you'll notice you'll be able to turn this underground compound into a settlement. And as we make our way deeper into the compound, we render these two child of the atoms deceased. And as we proceed forward, we notice a note next to a door. We loot these two deceased bodies. We fast forward, we kill this guy named Child of the Atom Zealot. We then loot some radioactive tanks, which is the ammunition for the Radcaster. There'll also be an XO1 power armor you can grab. We then get the fuck out. Now the radioactive tank munition will spawn mostly on enemies with the flamer gun. Now, to find clues about this monster, our first location is Concord. It is said that some crazy wanderer has been leaving notes around the Commonwealth. We grab the note and we read it. Our second location is the Pridwin. We head to the lower section of the main deck to a terminal and we activate the entry Ramirez. And this will bring up the quest line. Now, there won't be any quest markers. It'll just prompt you to look for more information. So we head to the Roadside Pines Motel south of the Greater Mass Blood Clinic and we dispose of the raiders.
Fast as fuck, boy. I don't think you have any idea how fast I really am. I'm fast as fuck.
You can find the note in the front entrance of the compound. The quest should now be updated to end the glowing nightmare. But before we proceed, I wait till nightfall so we can get a better look at this monster. Now, it's said that it lets out bursts of radiation. So we take a X11-1 compound and we face the beast.
B.
We loot the body and we head over to the thermodynamic aircraft where we already have a power armor set up. Now the downside of the armor is that it causes radiation damage, but there is an alternative. You can add the charred model and that'll basically just remove the glowing effect. So I'd actually just use the glowing version as a prop for a settlement or just give it to a companion. And that's how you become the glowing nightmare. So we head over to the ancient pyramid at the Starlight Drive-In. And at the top of the pyramid, at the thermodynamic control room, we come across a suit of armor slated in grey that has like an ancient dystopian but futuristic appearance. And then we have a pistol to complement. Now we quickly jump into the mainframe to see how the suit was acquired.
My toys! My nipples!
We hack into the Creations Club section and we download the Metropolis armor mod. And that brings us to Metropolis Tower, north of the Starlight Drive-In. enter the building and you'll notice some pre-war Titan statues as decoratives all over the place. Now we quickly approach the first enemy, Mr. Metropolis, so we can retrieve the armor, Nami. Now he'll just be standing in a room full of blood with a trader lodged through the wall for some unknown reason. We grab some blaster ammo and the armor and we make our way through the compound. Nami. Now we're gonna make our way back from where we came from through this door in the main lobby. Nami. And you'll notice as you scavenge through the area, you'll get quite an ominous and spooky feeling. Nami. Now, after we scavenge the place of some viable loot, we make our way back to that area where the big stairs was. Nami. We make our way up the stairs into the left door. There'll be a super mutant leg guard. We head out to the door straight opposite the room we were just in. Nami. We head up and we come across Miss Metropolis just standing there, waiting.
Excuse me.
12 seconds later.
And from Miss Metropolis, we'll grab the Metropolis blaster pistol. Nami. We then head over to the thermodynamic aircraft. And you'll notice that the gun has a big head covered in the iron sight. So we head over to a weapons bench and we can turn it into a long range weapon. So I just use the pistol version as like a decoration for settlement of some sorts. Nami. Now imagine you could go into the Creations Club, download this mod, then exit the Creations Club, activate this SOS signal. Somebody help me. Go to where the signal instructions you to go, read this note from this dead body, But wait! There's more! You then head south of the Starlight Drive-In. We quickly dispatch of the enemies,
B.
loot the bodies to pick up the laser RCW rifle and the Defender pistol plasma, not forgetting the Van Graff's armor of the deceased. Heading over to another deceased body and grabbing Matt's fragment. Heading over to Matt's workshop south of Electronic Consumers Electronics after reading the diary. Upon arriving, looting the US armor attire and opening Matt's safe to get the plasma offender, the third gun in the I then head over to the thermodynamic aircraft so I can get to a chem station and a gun station. At the chem station we can convert the electron charge pack into fusion cells and fusion cells into electron charge packs. I then customize my guns to my liking, head over to a random savage deathclaw and incapacitate the beast with my new guns.